I'm Professor Shireen Moti, Chair of the Committee for Academic Support on Higher Education and Learning, Assistant Professor of Law and Director of the Office of Alumni Relations. It is my great pleasure to invite you to the webinar on Committee for Academic Support on Higher Education and Learning, or CASHL, Introduction, Vision and Objectives today. CASHL has been constituted under the Office of the Dean, Jindal Global Law School, to provide advice and support to the students at Jindal Global Law School to pursue higher studies in law and related disciplines. The committee will be working in close coordination with the Office of Career Services at OP Jindal Global University. The vision of the Committee on Academic Support for Higher Education and Learning is to make the process of applying for admissions and scholarships to top international universities easier for our students to make their higher education dreams a reality. The objective of the team at CASHL is to streamline the already existing support system offered by the faculty members at Jindal Global Law School and the Office of Career Services to our students for applying for admissions and scholarships to top universities abroad. The purpose of today's webinar is to provide an opportunity to our students to know the stakeholders in this new initiative and to understand the vision and objectives of the Committee for Academic Support on Higher Education and Learning. A word to our students: during the last part of the webinar, we will be happy to take any questions that you may have about the functioning of the committee. And so please use the Q&A feature to send in your questions. With this, we are privileged and honored that Professor Dr. C. Rajkumar Sir, founding Vice Chancellor, OP Jindal Global University and Dean Jindal Global Law School, a visionary and a stalwart in the field of higher education globally, and the Director for the International Institute for Higher Education Research and Capacity Building, is going to inaugurate the Committee for Academic Support on Higher Education and Learning today. With this, I request Professor Dr. C. Rajkumar Sir to deliver his inaugural address. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Shireen, and thank you so much, Professor Srijit, Executive Dean of Jindal Global Law School, our other colleagues who are present here, including Professor Karan Latyan, Professor Pankaj Gupta and Gaurav, and many other faculty members who are present here. I think it's a very, very important initiative that we are launching today, the Committee for Academic Support on Higher Education and Learning. In my view, will shape the future of aspirations of our students. In fact, most of us who went through the process of higher education opportunities, we never had a support system like that. We figured it out ourselves mostly as to what steps that we need to take. And I do believe several of us who ended up taking those decisions, if we had the kind of advice and support system that this committee is expected to provide, would have had a more informed understanding and appreciation of the choices that they ended up making. And that's exactly why this committee has a very significant role to play. I also believe that today, more than ever, higher education opportunities have become extremely competitive. A lot of professional level support and engagement is being offered through a lot of counselors, and many a time those counselors may not necessarily be suitable to provide the right kind of advice on the basis of experience and on the basis of understanding of the higher education sector and the opportunities itself. And this actually creates a misplaced expectations on the part of both the parents and the students, and a lot of resources ends up being wasted. But more importantly, people don't end up getting what they really want or what they are most suitable to actually experience. So in my view, this decision of our university and law school, and then of course other schools, I believe this is beginning with the law school. I do believe that there is a case for creating it across the university for all other schools, so that this committee can help students, mentor students from the very beginning when it comes to aspirations for promoting their higher education opportunities. I was very pleased to see that one of our own alumni, Shireen Moti, who's right now here, she had published a book just after she graduated, which essentially became one of the best sellers when it comes to guiding students relating to seeking opportunities abroad. The kind of information that is very, very fundamental for anybody to have when it comes to providing, having aspiration to pursue the process of application all the way to writing their statement of purpose, to setting, getting their letters of recommendation sorted out, and also to determine as to which institutions they want to apply, including the process of applying for scholarships, all those things that are so critical in a student's life when it comes to his or her aspirations. We need that information. Now, it's also equally important that Cashel, as an institutional capacity building initiative, mentors students from early on, because many a time people may not be aware, and they may probably know a few institutions, or even they may have thought of only one or two countries. But today, the global higher education sector is so wide. Like, for example, our own executive dean had studied in Finland. I mean, now Finland, one of the things that we should be aware of is that most students end up thinking at, let's say, United States or UK, but the wider part of Europe offers a phenomenal set of scholarships, fantastic educational opportunities, high quality universities in a much more, let's say, peaceful and educational ecosystem that is inspiring. That's exactly what Professor Srijit had experienced at the University of Lapland in Finland. So these are the type of opportunities and mentoring role that our faculty members can play. And I think it's also useful for the faculty members to share their experiences and maybe even the mistakes they had made, the kind of choices they ended up taking because they couldn't have that information. Because in hindsight, we may know a lot more things that we didn't know then. And so I do believe that this is an extraordinary initiative. This has the potential to transform the aspirations of our students in a very significantly beneficial manner. And I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you who have been leading this effort, all the way from the executive dean of our law school, Professor Srijit, but also Professor Pankaj Gupta, the director of the Office of Career Services, Professor Malvika Seth, who has been leading our internationalization effort. And I'm very happy and grateful to our faculty members, Manya, Ashwati, Arushi, Mukesh, and Gaurav and Anirudh and Triksha and Peter and Risha, all of them who have been part of this. I see that there are student members as well, or graduates and alumni who are also part of this initiative. So I am quite confident that this will become a super successful initiative and has the potential to really guide and inspire the students' aspirations for the future. So with those words, I want to thank you for this opportunity for me to be present here. And I want to congratulate each one of you for being part of this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajkumar sir, for that exemplary inaugural address and showing us the way forward for the Committee on Academic Support for Higher Education and Learning. With this, I would like to invite Professor Dr. S.G. Srijit sir, Professor and Executive Dean, Jindal Global Law School, to give his opening remarks. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody. Let me start by acknowledging the JGLS Student Council for giving me the idea of Cashel. Probably 20 days back, it was a conversation with Andolan Sarkar and the team, which ultimately resulted in the formation of Cashel. When he gave me the idea, the first thought that struck me was that it's all here, but not under one organized framework. So thank you, JGLS Student Council, for this idea. And we are happy to inform you that we have honored the promise we gave you in a short span of 20 days, that today we are inaugurating Cashel. Some quick reflections. You know that, I mean, higher education is far more than pursuit of an advanced degree. It's actually a desire. And the desire is a product of an inquisitiveness you develop in the law school. In that, you have that inquisitiveness. It's a stark testimony to the fact that law school kept you thinking. And everyone who thinks about a higher education from JGLS, your desire is actually a reflection of the, is a reflection of the efforts my colleagues have put in teaching you here. So you can also be proud that you are thinking about a higher education because law school gave you adequate food for thought, which kept you thinking. Higher education certainly is an opportunity to reflect on many of your own intellectual convictions, which actually you developed during the law school. So it need not be approached as an opportunity to gain specialization, extra knowledge, a bag full of knowledge, and you'll come back and join some institution. I think the approach should be a little bit more thoughtful. It's an opportunity to reflect on many of the convictions you have developed in the law school. Many of the questions you hesitated to ask in the protocoled environment of a graduate school. Probably you thought that those questions, if asked at that point, might have ended up as a silly question, but never in a higher education setup, because that question might have an explosive potential. That question may be an existential question. In the higher education, things which remained passive until then get ignited. Spirit raises its hood. You turn thoughtful as your inquisitiveness further spirals outwards. However, the spiraling can actually continue indefinitely, engulfing one space after another in the universe of law. Your own contentment, if not for a soaring passion to know further on law, will set actually the course of action, or will actually set the further course of your own desires or your own pursuit of education. And most importantly, in higher education, the teacher, the conventional teacher, slowly recedes. The self becomes your teacher. The teacher's experience in her own self-becoming ultimately becomes the instruction for you, not exactly what the teacher has accumulated. That's why I mentioned that higher education has to be seen less as a mode of specialization or a means of specialization, but more as touching those chords in your mind, those imaginative, creative chords in your mind, and develop a soaring passion. Now, JGLS feels that it is duty bound to create this kind of a framework for you to fulfill your desires. Hence, we have created the Committee of Academic Support on Higher Education and Learning. Now, under CASHL, you not only would get advices, but you are also going to get constant aid in the completion of your application form, in the form of guidances on how creatively to reflect on in your statement of purpose, how to engage with a faculty member in order to get the faculty member write a letter of reference, to what extent you can actually tell a faculty member that I want a certain things to be put in my letter of reference or not. My colleagues will explain more about the modalities of the CASHL, but I'm so glad that we have been able to put this kind of an initiative together. And coincidentally, Vice Chancellor some 15 days back told me that we need to create this kind of an initiative in the law school. And I was so happy to inform him that we are on the way towards the creation of CASHL. So I take this opportunity to thank JGLS Student Council, all my colleagues who have put this together in a short span of 3 weeks, and to all my dear students that you find what you desire in higher education. And obviously you will have all the wonderful opportunities and success in your pursuit of higher education. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Srijit sir, for giving a larger perspective on the role of CASHL and on higher education in particular, and what difference it can make to a student's life. With this, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Pankaj Gupta sir, Professor Jindal Global Law School and Dean, Office of Career Services, to give his opening remarks. Welcome, sir.
Good morning, and thank you, Shirin ji, and good morning, Ras sir, Srijit ji, and all dear colleagues and students. So first of all, I'd like to really thank Professor Raj for giving this inspiration to us, and also by Professor Srijit, so that we are taking this action, and also great support given by Shirin ji, and so we are doing it at this moment. So already the vision and the plan has already been explained by Ras sir and Srijit ji. I'd like to share that what OCS would like to do. Yesterday we had a meeting with the PAN Student Council of the all student council member from JGU, and we tried to find out what is their plan, what exactly they want to do. Because if we create anything, we need to create something which is of value to them, what they value, and we got a lot of insight from there. So what we have agreed basically, and it is subject to change as we go along. One is that right information. As Professor Raj also mentioned, that we already have so many members who have studied in top global universities, and many are Fulbright scholar, Chevening scholar. So there is no depth of knowledge as regard the information is concerned. We don't need to really rely on those consultants and so on. So that information is in-house. But earlier it was more in a fragmented way, and with the guidance and inspiration of our Vice Chancellor, we are now going to do it in a very planned and structured way, and which also has been shared by Professor Srijit. Now, working as per a strategy, like somebody who is planning to go like Mission 22, then a different strategy is needed. Somebody want to go Mission 23, 24. So in this phase, we are going to take certain actions because there is an admission cycle. So we have to see that if somebody want to go in 22, latest by September, they should, get, good, test scores. Because you may have a great GPA, but if you do not have a good test score, you may have some problem. Plus, how to build your personal brand. In this way, because like Professor Shiji was sharing, that how somebody would like to give you a good letter of recommendation, that matters. Because there are questions like, how do you do this applicant? What is your level of engagement and so on. So those kind of right nurturing will happen at the right time, so that the students are able to create properties, right kind of Insta profile, right kind of YouTube videos, right kind of the papers, research paper, and so on. So that whenever they apply, and also Jindal carries a very big name in the global scene. So that will be anyway an added advantage. And if we are also preparing our student in a proper way, with the right, these kind of initiative, so it is going to help. Then preparing for test preparations. For this, we have taken input from the students that they will be giving us names, that these are the likely vendors who would like to help only in the test preparation. All the other things we are going to do in-house. Then the right kind of mentoring support. And the next will be the support group cross JGU. Because at this moment, maybe a law school student does not know that my other friend who is working in, who is studying in JSIA or JSGP, he or she is also planning to go to, let's say, Tufts University in, Fletcher School. So in this, we will create those kind of support groups, and they will be working in a dedicated way towards getting there. And also, we shall be creating some sort of a brand building and, the networking events, where you can say a public policy thing, these are the professor and they will be addressing. So in a structured way. So finally, the bottom line is to make it happen. And we will be, as a professors, as a mentors, we'll do it. And we have the action point. They've already done a student council meeting. Now a joint team is being created. And also by the next week, we shall have a complete idea who are the people who are going for mission abroad in 22. And we will start working in a structured way for them, and working with the exact plan of action, calendar, and execution plan. So this is what is our idea. And in the similar way, we are also planning to have one more vertical as per the guidance given by Professor Raj. One would be for the civil services preparation, and one would be for the judiciary preparation as well. So with this, the broad structure in mind, and we are all committed to make a difference in the life of our students as per the guidance and inspiration of our Vice Chancellor and the Executive Dean, Professor Shijit. And I'd like to once again thank you. And any input, any suggestion would be always welcome. So thank you and namaskar.
Thank you, Pankaj sir, for sharing your views and your words of wisdom about higher education and the role of the Office of Career Services in this new initiative. Before we move forward, I would like to mark and acknowledge the presence of Professor Karan Latyan sir, Associate Professor and Associate Dean Director, JGLS 5-year programs, and Professor Dr. Manveen Singh sir, Associate Professor and Associate Dean, Academic Affairs at Jindal Global Law School. Thank you for joining in, sir. I would now like to invite Professor Malvika Seth, Advisor Cashel, Associate Professor of Law and Associate Dean, Office of International Collaborations in the Global Law School, to discuss the role of the Office of International Collaborations in this new initiative. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Professor Shireen. Good morning, Professor Raj, Professor Shrijit, Professor Gupta, Cashel team, faculty members, and dear students. The Committee for Academic Support for Higher Education and Learning is a first of its kind initiative by any law school to streamline the institutional support that can be provided to students who are not just preparing to apply for higher education opportunities, but are also looking for the right opportunities that would suit their academic aspirations, their particular academic trajectories. It is my pleasure to be a part of this team as an advisor. Cashel brings together faculty members and alumni who offer their lived experiences to the students, and I believe that it would be a very valuable addition to the institutional support that we offer through the Office of International Collaborations, wherein we offer various opportunities through our partnerships. In my experience as the Associate Dean for International Collaborations, I have realized that there is sometimes an information gap. There is sometimes an asymmetry in terms of what the students would like to do, what they would want to pursue. And I believe that Cashel would be able to effectively bridge this gap. Without taking too much time, I would like to say that the Office of International Collaborations will work closely with Cashel to ensure that all necessary information about our international opportunities, which are available through numerous partnerships with institutions across the world, will be provided to the students. And I believe that Cashel will be able to effectively assist the students in not just identifying the right opportunities, but also for preparing good application, statement of purpose, recommendation letters, so on and so forth. In the end, I would like to congratulate Professor Shireen Moti, Mr. Gaurav Shukla, who have tirelessly worked under the guidance of Professor Raj, Professor Srijit, and Professor Gupta to effectively realize and launch this initiative. Thank you.
Thank you, Malvika ma'am, for those
So,
words.
Shireen, I need to leave for a doctoral committee interview now, but thank you very much for including me in this program. Thank you, Pankaj and Srijit and Manveen and Karan and Malvika and Shireen. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence.
And I'm happy to do some mock interviews for our students. I've been doing this for many years for our students who individually contact me, but include me as a member of Cashel for me to provide any help or support to Cashel.
No, certainly, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for your support. Thank you. Bye. Right. So thank you, Malvika ma'am, for your kind words. And I'm hoping that we'll get a lot of student queries and we'll be working very closely with the Office of International Collaborations, and we would need your guidance in every step of the way. With this, I would now like to invite Mr. Gaurav Shukla, Member Cashel, Assistant Director, Office of Career Services, OP Jindal Global University, to throw some light on the role of the Office of Career Services in this new initiative. Welcome, Gaurav.
Thank you, Shireen. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Professor Srijit, Professor Gupta, Professor Karan, Professor Manveen. And thank you so much, Professor Srijit, for giving us the opportunity to work on this committee and look at the different aspects of a structured approach towards this initiative. So, Office of Career Services largely look into the career mapping and career aspects of all the student. And earlier also, previously, we have mapped that close to 10% of our student, from 5-year and 3-year courses usually go for higher studies. And I think going forward with this Cashel being in place, I'm sure we will be able to provide support to these students, and also more people will increase because of the approach that we'll take towards this. So as Professor Gupta also mentioned, this is going to be a structured approach toward the higher education, where we'll try to help students in several ways. Office of Career Services largely work as a repository for managing all these initiative. Will also help Professor Shireen and all the faculty members. With the help of all faculty members, we will try to organize more and more events. We will try to help student one-to-one session, in order to manage them more effectively to make application for higher education. So I think that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gaurav, for summing up the role of the Office of Career Services in this initiative. And as we can see, it has a big role to play. And of course, we'll be working in close coordination with the Office of Career Services. So now it's an interesting part for the students, because the members of Cashel, some of our members are going to share their own personal experiences of applying abroad for admissions as well as scholarships, and are also going to share certain tips for students who are planning to apply to top universities abroad. So with this, I would like to invite Ms. Ashwati Narayan Suresh, lecturer, Jindal Global Law School and Assistant Dean, Office of Career Services, to share her experiences. Over to you, Ashwati.
Yeah, thank you, Shireen, and good morning to everybody. I hope I'm audible. First of all, it gives me so much honor to just be part of a meeting where so many people who I really look up to in this institution, even before I joined, are present and have given their thoughts about how we're going to go forward. A little about my experience. To put it very short, it was extremely daunting and it was a very overwhelming process for me. Also because I didn't know the way I was going to approach the applications or even scholarships, so much so that I didn't even think of making one single scholarship. I just assumed that it's not something that's going to be crackable. And in fact, when I was speaking to Shireen the other day, I realized that there are so many opportunities that just go wasted because it's not been explored. So that was my experience, and I just kept it very limited. I only applied to 2-3 universities. Fortunately, I cracked most of it. I didn't even think of applying to Oxbridge because I thought it was too far a reach. But honestly speaking, I think anything is doable if you start early. So that's been my experience. And if I can give one tip for students, it would be that there is a lot of misinformation that's out there. So the whole purpose of constituting this kind of a committee is that, you know, we are approachable, not just for students in their penultimate year or their final years, but students who you know, need to plan a little ahead. So if there's any financial constraints, or, you know, you have a lot of roadblocks along the way, so it's just like a one-stop shop for anybody planning to do a master's, not just in law, but other related disciplines, to sort of approach us and to have any kind of queries, not just, you know, which university should I apply to, but also who should I approach? What is the right way forward? So these are some of the tips that that I can put out here, and the whole purpose for formalizing this kind of a process that has been going around in the law school for quite a while. And I was really glad that Professor Srijit put it out there. And I didn't think twice to be a part of this committee, because I knew for a fact that this is in fact in need of the hour right now. Thank you, Shireen.
Thank you, Ashwati, for sharing your experience. And with this, I invite Mr. Mukesh Arora, lecturer in the Global Law School and Assistant Dean, Office of Career Services, to come forward and share his experience with all of us.
Thank you, Shireen. Good morning, Professor Shiriji. Good morning, Professor Karan, Professor Manveen, Professor Pankaj, and all my dear colleagues of Cashel Committee. And it is my pleasure to be part of it. And yes, even as Ashwati said, Professor Ashwati mentioned that when I applied to only few universities, and I really wanted to go to a particular university, and I tried the way, organize all these structured routes to that way only. So yeah, it's a process you have to be very diligent about, be very persistent about. Reason being, because before you plan to do your master's, please do your own research. This is basically because what type of particular what area you're particularly interested, you will get to know eventually after years of work experience, or maybe from your academic experience. So identify a particular research area. That will be my tip. And also start focusing on your grades from now only, because that will also help you to fetch a university which you really want. And other factor which are really important, I think, statement of purpose, which really identify what is the purpose of pursuing masters from abroad, which basically plans everything way ahead. And I think if all these things are jotted down properly in an order, you are good to go. So otherwise, we all are there for you as a member. Every time, anytime, whatever you have any query, so you have a back. Thank you.
Thank you, Mukesh. So from Ashwati and Mukesh's experience, we can learn that we have to begin early, and nothing is impossible. And the second thing is that research is key to even applying abroad. So those are things that are major takeaways from their personal experiences. Now I invite Mr. Shaurya Upadhyay, lecturer in the Global Law School and Assistant Dean, LLM Blended Program, to share his experiences. Over to you, Shaurya.
Thank you so much, Shireen. Am I audible?
Yes.
Lovely. So a very good morning. It's still morning, luckily for me. It's the sort of 12 noon situation. But for me, I completed my master's from the LSE as a Tata Scholar. And in retrospect, when I look at my application process, it was largely somewhat like a lawyer sending in their first legal submission with absolutely no idea as to how to organize it, right? And every single aspect was pretty much like that. Beginning from, setting timelines, knowing exactly when to do what, to, going ahead and gathering your evidence, which is your your sort of recommendations, your certifications, etc., to preparing that statement of purpose, which is pretty much like your primary legal submission, right? Your sort of the cover letter that you put, etc. It all comes together in a very organic manner once you know the method behind it. But the first time, as with any lawyer submitting their first submission, it is a daunting task. What I think helped me the most was not being hesitant in tapping into my support system. There are a lot of considerations that people have, don't go around begging for help, or don't go around asking people for resources or time, try and manage on your own. And these sort of stigmas are there in society. I think for me, I was very open about the fact that I do not know how to apply, for a master's program as someone who's, just about done their bachelor's degrees from the University of Delhi, a university that, of course, is not very internationally oriented and therefore does not have the same support systems that we have in place here. So for me, it was a task of asking as many people as I can about, the resources they might provide to me, including aspects of financial aid. I had absolutely no idea, and I did miss out on a couple of deadlines when it came to scholarships, simply because I did not know those existed. So hopefully for us, and luckily for us, Casual is here to provide you with those resources. One piece of advice which I give to everyone who have advised on their admissions process is advice is always subjective based on individual experiences. So there might be people giving you advice based on how they went about applying given their circumstances, and their circumstances will almost never be the same as yours. You need to tailor your process as per your circumstances, as per your background, as per everything that you've gone through. And therefore you have to tailor make your process and your application to suit that sort of experience set, right? So if you need financial aid, you need to be the one applying for it. Nobody else is going to come give it to you. If you're an introverted individual and not an extrovert, like the person you're taking advice from, maybe your approach towards your application needs to be different, right? So all of these aspects, hopefully for us, Casual can help you with that process as well. And with that, thank you, Shireen. Thank you, everyone, for the opportunity to work with this lovely committee.
Thank you, Shaurya, for sharing your experience. And really, precision is key to success. And it's interesting how you looked at your applications as a legal document, something that you are preparing for the first time. And also, very importantly, speaking to people from those prospective colleges that you're applying to and learning from their experiences is something that should be a part of one's research, and one should not hesitate in doing the same. So that's great. And now we move on to Ms. Simran Bhinder, lecturer, Jindal Global Law School and Assistant Dean Research, to share her experiences.
Hi all, and thank you. I've actually enjoyed all of these little anecdotes a lot. I completed my LLM from Melbourne as an Alex Chernoff scholar, and I did that after doing my BA LLB from JGLS. So my application process was very pleasant. I had all of these resources that we're talking about to tap into, and I think that really made the entire journey very nice and easy for me. Personally speaking, I think the one point that I realized after I made my application was that it was an experience which allowed me to know so much more about myself professionally as well, right? So when you're preparing an application for a program which is as advanced as an LLM, essentially it forces you to look into your own experiences, your own professional knowledge that you've gained so far. And it actually gives you an opportunity to think about what you have done, how you can make it more sellable, and what you want to do as well. Right. So when you're choosing your LLM program, for example, you have to make a decision based on your past experiences of what you want to really do and what you want to achieve out of that LLM. I think if I had to give an advice to someone, that would be that, first of all, be very mindful of the practical realities of your situation and what you aim to get out of an LLM. Very honestly, I needed a scholarship to be able to do an LLM. The second consideration was I very honestly cannot live in any country that has sub-minus temperatures. All right, it seems like a small little issue, but if you're living there and you're doing a course that's as demanding as a master's in law, you need to be very mindful of where you can physically work out from. And I think with those considerations in my mind, that was the first step when I started looking for potential universities, and ended up actually going the slightly unconventional way of going to Australia and doing my LLM, and I found my scholarship, so that worked out for me. But I think these are the kind of pointers, these are the kind of tips that we often forget, but Casual here and all of us humans over here are ready to help you with that. And I'm very excited to have some very interesting conversations with my colleagues and with potential candidates. So thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you, Simran. That is interesting that weather also played a role in deciding which university you go to. And we often, ignore it coming from India when we go to a cold nation. It's quite an adjustment in a cold country, but glad that you got that scholarship, and hopefully students can take your advice in terms of cracking scholarships when it comes to universities in Australia. So now I invite Ms. Shambhavi Shivani, lecturer in the Global Law School and Assistant Dean, Office of Career Services, to share her experiences. Go ahead, Shivani.
Thank you, Shireen. Good afternoon, professors, colleagues, and dear students. Delighted to be a part of CASL and be help to students not make mistakes that I perhaps made during my application process. So hello everyone, I'm Shambhavi, a 2018 graduate from Chanakya National Law University, followed by Masters in Intellectual Property Law from Trinity College, Dublin. The process is, as rightly put by my colleagues, is a daunting one, if not guided and researched thoroughly. Fortunately, I realized my inclination towards intellectual property law in third year itself and explored the subject via internships and research work with my faculty members. And then I started with my application process right from the beginning of my 5th year of law school. So I shortlisted universities on the basis of course specialization, which university or which college offers renowned courses in intellectual property law. And I prepared a potential list of around 5 universities, which I targeted to secure an admission into. You do not want to rush with your application process, so it's advisable to start at the earliest as possible. I was fortunate to get calls from Trinity College Dublin, Maastricht University, University of Melbourne, but Trinity College Dublin suited me the best and I zeroed it on it. During the application process, unfortunately, I gave all my attention and focus to the university application process and realized a little late that most of the scholarship opportunities were gone past the deadline. So yes, application process is a tedious journey, but to put together, therefore you need to carefully manage and devote time to scholarship and application process to open doors to reach nearer to your dreams. And we are happy to guide you through this journey. Looking forward to our further interactions and my best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you for that. And now I would like to invite Ms. Tripti Panigrahi, Assistant Lecturer in the Global Law School, Assistant Dean, Office of Career Services, and Faculty Coordinator, Moot Court Society, to share her experiences. Go ahead.
Thank you, Shireen. Respected seniors, colleagues, and dear students. I'm Tripti Panigrahi and I joined Jindal last year after completing my post-graduation. I did my master's in intellectual property law from Queen Mary University of London. And the application process that I had to undergo was smooth. Smooth because I was clear in my head what I wanted to do, because I had found my calling in intellectual property law, like my colleague Shambhavi, in 3rd year itself. So my research process started since then. And I also zeroed down on all the universities that had to offer intellectual property law. And I concluded that Queen Mary University was best suited for my purpose and for the subjects that I want to study in. Now, the thing is, how do you figure out what is your calling? Sometimes you just know it, but the other times, how do you go about it? So my tip is you have to figure out. How do you figure out? You have to go by the process of elimination. So you have to first see what you don't like to be able to see what you like. Sometimes when you don't find your calling, when you don't know what you want to do, but then you're just drawn towards the idea of getting a higher education, then your process starts when you're in the undergrad level. So for me, it was like, okay, I like contracts, the CPC maybe not so much, IP I like the best. So that's how I went about it. And this clarity also landed me in this role. Professor Raj, while he was interviewing me, he said he appreciated me for this clarity, and then he hired me for the role. So my tip for today is that you have to get that clarity, and we are here to support you in the process of getting that clarity. Thank you.
Thank you, Tripti. So 2 takeaways from what Shambhavi shared and what Tripti shared is that, of course, planning is key, and time and again, the members have been stressing on this role of planning. And second, clarity, because it will save you the unnecessary anxiety and stress towards applying, because you would know what your end goals are and you would work towards them. with precise planning. So now I invite Mr. Abhinav Mehrotra, lecturer JGLS and faculty coordinator Child Rights Clinic, to share his experiences. Go ahead, Abhinav.
Thank you, Shireen, for giving me the opportunity to be part of this committee. And hello to everyone and to my colleagues, seniors, and professors who have even taught me. So I did my undergrad, my LLB from Jindal University, and then went for my master's in international human rights from University of Leeds. So as others, I had also applied in a couple of universities and got through them. But the process is something which is very important. So in this process, I would first like to thank Professor Malvika, who was very helpful in that time when there was no centralized process, but she was very helpful and she guided me a lot in my SOP drafting and how to pursue this further. So the first aspect which I would like to emphasize is having clarity and honesty in your statement of purpose as to why you are wanting to do this, what is the aim and what do you want to achieve from it. And the second aspect, which is very important, is to be truthful in your purpose, because it's you can go after a university's name, but what I would emphasize is go after the course, because it's the course which remains with you rather than the university's name after a certain point of time. So in that respect, when I got interviewed by Professor Srijit, I was lucky to be interviewed by him, and the clarity which he said that international law, human rights law is something which you are passionate about, is something which every student should follow in terms of prioritizing of subject rather than university. So thank you everyone, and I'm very grateful to be part of this committee, and would try my best to offer my advice and guidance of my experience I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhinav, for that. And now I would like to invite Ms. Risha, Member Secretary Cashel and Assistant Manager JGLS, to share a few words with us. Yes, Risha.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Risha. First, I would like to welcome everyone at the opening of the Cashel. I'm an assistant manager in Jindal Global Law School. I have done MBA in HR and marketing. So I have a experience of 4 years in corporate sector as well as the education sector. So as a member secretary, I will be supporting the students as well as all the members in the committee for the smooth functioning of the Cashel. It's an honor and the pleasure to be part of this Cashel committee. And thank you, everyone. Stay safe.
Thank you, Risha. And before we move on to Andolan, I would just like to take a minute to share my own experience of applying abroad and all the challenges that it came with. So I was always academically driven, and my idea was that I would like to do a master in law, but little did I know that how challenging the process can be and how you need so much of support in terms of advice and guidance when you're applying to top universities abroad. Deadlines, the kind of SOPs that they want, the kind of letters of recommendation they want, the application material. Sometimes when you look at the list, and when you look back, you feel that how was I able to pull it off? There's so many documents that need to be submitted for an admission for an international university. So the idea is, and the challenges that we faced. So all of us, this endeavor is that we would like for our students to get into the top universities with the topmost scholarships, because we realize that because I'm a shaping scholar, and I realize the importance of having a scholarship when you're studying abroad, because at the back of your head, you do not have that financial stress or burden of how am I going to pay for my education and what is this going to end up becoming, because then you have a free set of choices once you graduate that, okay, since I'm not beginning my career with financial debt, I am free to make the choices and make that career that is a part of my dream in terms of my career. So it is what I would like to share with my students is that it is possible to get into a top university with a top scholarship which is fully paid, but there are a lot of riders to that. You need to plan carefully, you need to be dedicated to that process, and you need to be aware of your end goals. That is, what is the kind of career that you're looking at, and how does this whole LLM experience fit into that that career goal that you eventually have, be it a short-term goal or a long-term goal. And today, lawyers are not only pursuing LLMs, but they're also going for Masters in Public Policy, MSc in Human Rights, and so on and so forth. So there are so many degrees that you can pursue, but you have to be clear that why am I going to a particular university, and why right now, and what is it going to do for my career? So for all of those questions, and these are the questions that are eventually asked of you in your application materials, be it your statement of purpose, be it your application form, be it your letters of recommendation, which are helping the committee understand why the student is a suitable candidate for the university or the scholarship that you're applying for. All of these are very important questions that are psychologically drafted, and you need to really have a precise answer to all of that. So we know that you are already there, you have a dream, and we are going to facilitate that process of allowing you to reach that dream. Another thing that is most important is that we are facilitators. Students have to be the primary drivers in this process. So we can help you, we can steer you in the right direction, but ultimately it is your application, it is your admission, it is your scholarship. So you have to take complete ownership of that. These are all support systems, these are all resources, but ultimately it is for you to decide how is this fitting into your academic goals, your career goals, and how are you going to use this committee to the best possible results for you personally. So that are some of my parting words. And now I'm going to invite Mr. Andolan Sarkar, President, Student Council, Jindal Global Law School, to share his vote of thanks. Andolan, please take over.
Thank you so much, Professor. I mean, in this place, I think I'm the only undergraduate student over here talking. So there are a few things that I have learned and have understood from whatever that all the professors had to share. And with the idea with which the Student Council had approached Professor Srijit on the first day to initiate this entire program, one of the first things I realized in this institution is the importance of vision. That whether you're an educational institution, a business entity, or a person, one of the first things, which is the most important thing, is a vision for yourself, or for what you want to do, or for where you want to see yourself in the next coming few years. Along with that is the courage to actually go forward and to go and dream, to go and achieve what you really want to do. So these are the few important things that I have personally realized and I have personally felt in my own personal capacity. And also one interesting picture that I would like to share with all of you is that I think it was in 2019, 2 pictures were put up in one of the corridors. And I think this is a picture with all of us can relate to. So in one side, there was a Jindal's, a picture of Jindal where it is not constructed, an entirely barren land. And the next picture was where Jindal has been constructed. And over there, the first thing I realized was our QS ranking had been stated. So the distance between the 2 pictures might have been few centimeters physically. But then the distance, when you see it metaphorically, might have been the dream that one had wished to achieve with the students, with the faculty, with the professors and everyone else. And also the perseverance to achieve that dream. The hard work that is put in and the consistency that is reached out to really be able to achieve that one particular dream that you wish to see yourself be in. With that, a lot of students in general like me are very scared of this entire idea. This entire process seems to be intimidating. The profession also at times seems to be intimidating, especially when you're categorized as a first generation lawyer. But it's very, very comforting and encouraging to see all of you speak up, because personally speaking, there are 3 people who have said that they are alumni of Jindal Global Law School. Out of, I haven't seen all 3 of them, but personally, I can name Professor Abhinav Mehrotra. When I was a first year student, I remember that he used to sit in the library and he used to study, or he used to work on his applications or whatever that he was doing. So he's an example that I have seen with my own eyes. And then today he has done his education from somewhere, a prestigious institution, and he's coming back and giving us a lesson on how to go ahead with this forward. So that in itself is inspiring, and it gives us the confidence that students amongst us can also achieve the same and probably come back with the same amount of motivation. So with this, I would like to thank everyone. But before that, I would like to thank Professor Dr. C. Rajkumar for providing us with this inspiration throughout and being the guiding figure. I would like to thank Professor Dr. S.G. Srijit, Professor and Executive Dean, for being able to guide us and for able to implement this entire process in such a short span of time and so smoothly. Thank you so much, Professor. I would like to thank Professor Dr. Pankaj Gupta, Professor and Dean OCS, for his wonderful address and for his confidence and correlation with the OCS. I would also like to thank Professor Karan Latian, Director 5-year Law School Program, Professor Manveen Singh, Director 3-year LLB Programs, and Professor Shireen Moti, the chair of this committee and the director of Office of Alumni Relations. I would like to thank everybody who has humbly accepted this opportunity to help out the student body and being a part of CASHL, Professor Malvika Seth, advisor of this esteemed committee and Associate Dean International Collaboration GGLS, Mr. Gaurav Shukla, Assistant Dean, Assistant Director OCS, Professor Ashwati Nair Suresh, Assistant Dean OCS, Professor Mukesh Arora, Assistant Dean OCS, Professor Trupti Panigar, Assistant Dean OCS, Professor Shambhavi Shivani, Assistant Dean OCS, Professor Abhinav Mehrotra, Lecturer and Faculty Coordinator for Child Rights Clinic, Professor Simran Bhinder, Assistant Dean Research, Professor Shaurya Upadhyay, Assistant Dean Blended LLM Programs, Ms. Risha, the Member Secretary. And I would also like to extend my gratitude to all co-council members who came up with this idea alongside me and presented it to Professor Srijit. So with this, I would like to thank each and every one of you. And I hope that this committee becomes a success and everybody is able to gain as much as possible from this committee.
Thank you, Andolan, for that comprehensive vote of thanks, and we really appreciate the participation of the Student Council in this initiative. Before we close for today, there are two questions that I would request Srijit sir and Pankaj sir to respond to. So one of the questions that I would like Srijit sir to respond to is that how would the committee help in charting a student's path where their resources are limited and the only chance for the student to pursue higher education is through scholarships or grants? So please.
Yeah, so thank you for that question. As I've mentioned, the committee will holistically approach an application, not just in terms of the admission, but also in terms of the scholarships. So the committee is also duty bound to provide students information about the various opportunities there, how to present yourself before a scholarship committee, not only as a paper, but also in person if required. So the committee will be developing detailed standard operating procedures in order to implement all this. But at this moment, since the committee is in a stage of infancy, I can all commit that the committee will certainly cover scholarship also into its ambit. Before I move, I forgot. CASHL.
We're not able to hear.
Sorry, I hope I
Sir,
completed
we lost
it.
you for about 10 seconds.
Saying I should acknowledge Professor. No, I was saying I should acknowledge Professor Manveen Singh, who ultimately coined the term CASHL.
Great.
Thank you, Manveen sir, for that.
Great. Thank you.
So thank you, Srijit sir. So now there's a question for Pankaj sir. So will CASHL be helping you once you graduate and want to take a year to work and then go to grad school? So essentially, will it be helping the alumni of the institution?
Shireenji, it is again a good question, and this I have to discuss with Professor Srijit and Professor Raj. But to my mind and to my heart, all the alumnus are ours, we are theirs. So there is no harm. They can keep experimenting, and we are all there to support them. And in fact, our current pool of student will also get help from that, because they are also able to integrate their own experience. So the answer would be, I would definitely welcome that, and I would request Professor Srijit to comment on this. What would be his view on this?
It's absolutely a no-brainer. This is your institution, and we are committed to you. Becoming an alumni absolutely does not sever you from this institution. We are all praise you. You please contact CASHL. We are there for you.
Sure. Great.
Thank you, Pankaj sir, and thank you, Srijit sir. There's a question that I would like to take up. The question is that how do we approach CASHL for applying abroad? And the simple answer to that is that we have a dedicated email address for CASHL, and as and when you raise your queries, be it specific or general, one of the team members will be working closely with you in order to resolve your queries and guide you and advise you with respect to your application. So the email ID is cashel@jgu.edu.in. You have already received certain emails from this email address, and beginning from today, after this webinar, you can start approaching the committee for your higher education queries for applying abroad. So I would also be sending in this on chat so that you have a record of the email address. I'll request Ashwati to do that so that everybody on this in this webinar has the email address for Cashel. Thank you, Ashwati. So with this, I would like to thank everyone for your time and patience, especially to our students who have participated in large numbers today and are hoping to apply abroad. To all the team members, to Shrijit sir, Pankaj sir, to Malvika ma'am for taking out your time and for sharing your valuable wisdom with all of us in terms of giving us a direction for this committee. To all the team members for sharing their personal experiences. I know it's hard to share where we have gone wrong in life and then to advise students to not take that path and get better results for themselves. So I look forward to working with each one of you and in order to support our students in realizing their higher education dreams and for them to become a reality. Have a wonderful day ahead, and the webinar for today has ended. Thank you so very much.